Hello everyone, welcome to the world of PMP certification. So I'm assuming you are watching this video because basically you are interested in PMP certification, right? So this course is all about PMP, how to pass the PMP exam in first attempt. So if your expectation from me is to understand project management, then I would say no, this is not the course for you. This course is specifically to make sure I get this three-letter word after your name, which we call it as PMP. This is an exam particular course where we would have lots and lots of videos specifically talking about the entire PMBOK 6th edition. Then we will have lots of practice questions to make sure whatever I'm teaching you, you are understanding the concepts. Unless you solve the questions, we really don't know whether you are getting the concepts or not. In this, I'll give you some real life examples where I would talk about something like buying a car. That's a project for us, or cooking a dish for dinner, or planning a wedding. So all of these, I would probably give you these real life examples so that you can relate to something which you all do in your day-to-day life. In addition to this, I will also discuss about some of the projects which we do in the organization. Like for example, I'm from the IT field, and I do all the IT related projects, and also the PMO, how the PMO works. So I'll give you some examples from my career, what I have projects I have done, and things like that. So the basic purpose is to make sure that you relate yourself with those concepts so that you can get pass the exam in first attempt itself. So as you know, my name is Varun Anand, and I'm your instructor for this particular course. I have given, I don't even remember the name, but I've given lots and lots of students to this PMP industry. My main focus was always that how I can help the students, how I can give the students keywords to make sure they apply those keywords in the PMP exam. So I will walk you through the entire PMP journey with me. The purpose of these slides will be to cover each and every topic important for your PMP exam based on PMBOK 6th edition. So initially you will see little bit of difference between what things change from PMBOK 5 to PMBOK 6, but you don't need to worry about the PMBOK 5. You are watching this video because your basic purpose is to pass the exam in the PMBOK 6th edition only. And this entire course will be based upon keywords. I'll give you some keywords, like for example, we'll give you some scenario based questions. I will discuss those scenario based questions with you, and in that I'll give you that, okay, if you see a particular keyword, this means the answer would be A, or if you see this keyword, this means the answer would be B. The real PMP is all about scenario based questions, all about how you can relate yourself to those scenarios. So this is my email address, this is my direct email address, and my direct phone number. On the bottom signature you can see our company's email address and the phone numbers. But if just in case you need any help in your PMP certification and you don't want to go through the support channel and want to reach out to me directly, this is my email address and this is my direct phone. Please don't hesitate. I will be more than happy to answer all your queries, whatever questions you have. And don't think that this is something, even if you buy my course, then only I will help you. It's nothing like that. If you have any questions, doubt, not just with your PMP application, which I would review it, just send me your PMP application, and I would more than happy to tell you what are the issues and how you can improve those descriptions you have written. Even if you have any doubts, related to the content, like for example, Varun, I did not get got this let's say mind mapping or affinity diagram techniques, can you help me in that? So probably I'll guide you in those kind of things, like in those topics as well. I'll reply you, I'll probably guide you to route you to our blog section on the website, where I will probably write a blog for you to explain those concepts to you. Many times in my Facebook and LinkedIn groups, people tag me all the time for advice. So I do that. What I do is I go back, I record a video and I upload it on the group, and specifically on those questions that they can very well relate and understand the concepts instead of just reading a plain boring text, to be honest. So let's see how this coursework would be designed and what are the things which we would be covering in this particular course. So first of all, I'll give you the course overview, where I would be talking about whatever things I am supposed to be doing for this videos. Then what is the actual PMP course structure? How the PMP course structure is designed, how many questions are there, what are the difficulty level of questions. Then moving forward, we'll give you some tips and tricks. I want to make sure that if you are see, PMP exam is all about hard work, but hard work has to combine with smart work. I don't want you to try thousands of questions. Yes, to be honest, I don't want you to try thousands of unnecessary questions which you really don't need for a PMP exam, right? I want you to focus on only the right thing at the right time, and of course in the right format, so you can get the best results out of it. Then we would be discussing about the code of ethics and professional conduct. So the professional responsibility. This is something I have introduced in the introduction section, where we will have videos related to professional responsibility. Questions like, you are a project manager, you went to a different country, your sponsor or customer offered you a gift, what you could do in this type of scenario. So questions specifically relating to professional responsibility, we would be discussing questions like that. Then we would be going into some of the foundational terms and concepts. So some of the foundational terms I'm referring to is the basic terminology of PMP, the terminology which we will use throughout our PMP journey, like the common vocabulary, to be honest. So first I would be going through those foundational terms and concepts, so that you are getting used to it. I don't want to burden you with all the difficult concepts, though I would try my best to make sure that those concepts are easy. I try to make it as easy as possible, try to give you as many keywords and as many examples as possible. But ultimately, we have to start somewhere, and this is where we will start with the basic terminology first. Then we would be discussing about the framework, how many processes are there, what are the number of process groups, then how many knowledge areas are there, how they are structured, which process is in which particular process group. We would be discussing about that as well. Just make sure that if you have not downloaded the ITTO sheet, please make sure that you go to the website www.eduhubspot.com, and under the free resources tab you can download the ITTO sheet. This sheet is very much helpful, and if you are watching this video, please make sure you have your pen and paper with you, because I will probably give you so many study notes, and I would probably give you so many keywords. And also my approach would be to tell you the number of questions you may expect from a particular chapter. So it's not necessary that you will get exactly the same number of questions, but my basic purpose is to make you understand that this is what I have learned from my past experience, from after getting the lessons learned from my past students. Then once the PMP framework is gone, we will talk about the common input tools and outputs. So this is where I was talking about the ITTOs. ITTO stands for inputs, tools and technique, and outputs. So a lot of people say that you have to memorize the ITTOs, but my approach is totally different. I would say the exact opposite of it. I don't want you to memorize ITTOs. I repeat, I don't want you to memorize the ITTOs. Why do I say so? If it is so much important, you will get a lot of questions from this. Why do I say so? See, basically, my purpose is to make sure that you understand the concepts, which can go long way. I don't want you to memorize something today and forget everything tomorrow. That's not my end purpose of this particular course. What I want you to understand is, why do I get this particular input for this particular process? why do I get this tool and technique for this particular process? And finally, why do I get this output for this particular process? Ask these questions to yourself. If you don't get it, reach out to me. Varun, why this is an input to this process? The real question over here is why? Why do I have these inputs, tools, techniques, and output? Really, in the exam, they would give you a question and they will say you, what is the next step will you do? Or what is the first document you will update? Or which of the following tools and technique is best used in this kind of scenarios? Or which of the following tools and technique they used in this scenario? So all the questions would be based upon scenarios. So make sure you practice lots and lots of scenario based questions. So if you want to practice these questions, just go to the website www.eduhubspot.com, and under the test sections you can do free questions. You can buy the resources where you can practice lots and lots of questions. All these questions all these questions are very important because they would explain you your result card based upon your process groups, based upon your knowledge area, based upon the mathematics, based upon the professional responsibility. So you will get lot of questions, so you can easily guess where you are lacking. Like you will probably see that, okay, in scope management knowledge area I got 5 questions right and 10 questions wrong. Also, this means there is a serious issue. So I want to go back and understand and improve my understanding on the scope management. Right? So basically, you would also see your scorecard on the basis of your process groups. So this will help you to understand that, okay, this is the process group where I want to go and improve my result. So you can structure your study based upon the process groups, the knowledge area, the mathematics, the scenario based questions, and yep, I think that's it. Then after we discuss the common inputs, tools and output, we will move to the next, which is your roles, organizational types and leadership. So this is the entire content for this introduction slide, where we will have, I'm assuming, around 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 videos under this section. Then each particular knowledge area would have an introduction video, and which will cover about the generic form, just high level description of all the processes which we have in that knowledge area. Then we would have each and for each and every process we have an independent video, specifically for the mathematics section in the earned value management, the cost management, and also the network diagram. They will have their own independent modules and separate videos as well for that. Okay, let's see what is the course overview of this particular video or this particular course which you are interested in. So as I told you before, my basic purpose is to cover everything you need to know to pass. My end goal is to make sure I get this 3-letter word after your name, and I need your support. From support, I mean have your pen and paper ready with you and write the notes. Start this video, stop this video multiple times so that you can get all the concept, you can grasp all the concepts. Write down the notes. It is very important because these are the notes which you have created on your own. And when the time comes when you would be actually prepared for your PMP exam, when you were about to go and sit for the exam, at that time you won't have time to come back and watch these videos again, or you won't have time to actually read the PMBOK again. At that time, these notes will be, will prove to be very, very handy with you. So make sure that you have notes, you are writing your notes. So this course is all about the PMBOK 6th edition. Specifically, the book, the source which we used was the PMBOK 6th edition, along with the practice questions and slides and all of those things. These slides, questions, these videos, all of these things are available on our website as well. Focus on getting you over the exam. So my purpose is not to make you a good project manager. See, that is something which I strongly believe that this is something which will get it by experience. You may be dynamic, you may be introvert, extrovert. It doesn't matter. You will be a good project manager. You need to learn the concepts behind it. And these days, this certification PMP is widely respected all around the world. So this is something which can which is something very useful, I would say. This course will teach you the PMI's way. So when I say PMI's way, what do I mean by the PMI's way is that whatever we do in real life is little different as compared to doing it in a PMI's way. My basic purpose is to make sure that you start wearing that PMI hat so that you can start solving the questions the way PMI expects you to do. This course is all about getting you, making sure that you pass the exam. Relates the material to real life examples. As I told you, all of this entire the different knowledge areas, I have tried my best to give you examples like real life examples, buying a car or manufacturing a phone, or something like cooking, something like as simple as cooking something for dinner, or planning a wedding. All these reasons I have deliberately done is to make sure that you get all the concepts. That's very important. Gives you memory keys and triggers. I'll give you all the memory keys. I'll tell you what are the things which you have to memorize and what are the things which you have to understand. So the memorization piece, like for example, formulas. Mathematical formulas are something which you have to memorize. But what I can do for you is to make you understand those questions. Make sure that you will come to a path where you just need to place the numbers in your questions. Provides you with exercises and sample questions. Again, this concept, this video is helpful, but not if you're not practicing the questions, because I won't come to know whether you're getting the concepts or not. I can only know based upon your scores. I can give you a brief idea or an overview. Of course, when I'll talk with you, I will understand that, how well you are taking the concepts, but solving questions definitely makes more sense. So how to get most from this class? See, my job is to teach you everything you need to know to pass. And this course, I keep on changing. I make sure that I keep on changing this course based upon the current trends and, the things which are becoming more and more important. So that's why you will see a lot of updates in this course again and again from time to time, because we want to remain focused and remain, as compared to your PMP exam. Your job is to attend all these sessions. I want to make sure that you're attending all these sessions. By attending all the sessions, I mean watch each and every video, at least for the first time, so that you can draft all the notes you need. Stay focused, eliminate distractions. When I say stay focused, what do I mean is that, try to make sure that this is the only thing you are doing in the course. I don't want you to do multitasking at this time. Of course, I'll try to make sure these videos are pretty interesting, but please try to avoid any other thing. Concentrate on PMP. Work hard. Study hard for these 2 months, I would say, from the day you start this course. Study hard for around 2 months of time frame. And trust me, you will pass the exam if you do the right things at the right time in the right format. Do the assigned reading and homeworks. So see, watching the videos is just one thing. Your next step should be to go back and read the PMBOK. Relate these videos to that PMBOK. Then your job is to practice the questions. First, practice the questions based upon knowledge areas, and then practice the full length questions. So all of those things are very, very important. And take this exam very seriously. PMP exam is, trust me guys, it's not easy. It's difficult. You have to take this exam seriously. So how this course will work? We will, first of all, you are seeing the content, right? You are interacting with me. And when I say interacting with me, what do I mean by that is, I want to make sure that whatever questions, doubts you have, go to my blog on the website, or write the comment. I will try to make sure I reply to each and every comment within 24 hours. I have specifically given you my personal email address in the beginning, because I want you to connect with you guys so that I can help you and guide you the right way. Then you would be doing the assigned reading. You will hear a lot of people actually who are traveling to work, they listen to my videos. They do that all the time. You will be reviewing the questions which you got wrong. So it's a combination of everything. So my goal from this course is to get a passing score on the exam. I don't care if you scored like 5 above targets, or I don't care if you scored 3 above targets and two, needs improvement or one. It all depends, right? Ultimately, what matters is that do you have your PMP or not? Nobody will ask you that what was your score, what was the percentage you got. So PMI never published the percentages, but they tell you that whether you got above target or needs improvement and things like that. How? Past the trivial, many focus on the critical pieces. See, I don't want to name any book or something, but there are many books in the market where you will see so many different questions, so many things which are not really important. This course, the purpose of this course is specifically to make sure that you understand, you work on the critical pieces only. So stay focused and do only the right thing. Analyze and emphasize the key concepts. See, I would be telling you from this particular topic, you may get X number of questions. From this topic, you may get Y number of questions. See why? Because I want you to analyze and emphasize on the key things. I don't want you to spend time on something irrelevant on which you will not get any exam questions. Structure the material with memorable organization. Try to relate yourself, whatever work you do, with these videos. Try to get the concepts. Study the focus material and practice questions. Watching videos is one thing for the concepts building, but until unless you practice the questions, it won't help you. Trust me. I have the experience, I've seen that. Okay, next we have the PMP course structure, what PMP is all about and how that coursework is. So PMP exam is first of all delivered on a computer. You may have to go to a Prometric site to give that exam. There is a paper-based exam also, but the preferred delivery method is the on computer. You will get 200 questions. Out of those 200 questions, 25 are experimental questions. So what do I mean by 25 experimental questions is that PMI's main focus is to make sure that you would be judged on those 175 questions. These 25 questions would not you won't be tested on, but they want to know how you are performing on those 25 questions, so that for future they may add those questions as real exam questions. Then it will be 4 hours, 240 minutes. They will test your knowledge and application of facts. You will not get any percentage. They will only tell you whether you have passed or failed. Congratulations or sorry. Passing score is unknown. They have not, PMI has never published. But I could say that if you are scoring around 70% on the EduHubSpot practice test, then I think you are in safe hands. So the exam does not test your project management experience. Yes, I repeat, the exam does not test your project management experience. Whatever you have learned in your real life, that will definitely help. But please remain focused on the concepts, on the processes, on the structure which PMI has laid out for you. Our goal would be to understand those concepts. Your knowledge of industry practices. I have taught students and like from so many different industries. I have taught somebody from IT world, from non-profit, from healthcare, from biotechnology folks. I have taught some government agencies, and you would be surprised, from construction, from engineering background, from a NASA scientist also was one time my student. See, all of these things, whatever you have learned in your industry, that's one thing. Just let's keep it aside, because PMI will not ask you any health related question, because that's not what their goal is. The exam does not test your common sense. See, of course, I'm saying that, what do I mean by common sense? That PMI is very, very focused on their processes and procedures. So you need to concentrate on those things. What you have learned in your management school. So I'm assuming that if some of you guys or few of you guys are, MBS, that's one thing. That's excellent. But just concentrate on PMP for now, whatever things we have in our PMP. your knowledge of how to use software tools. If you are very good in, let's say, Microsoft Outlook, or you're very good in Microsoft Project, or Jira, or SharePoint, that's pretty good. But PMI will not test you on that. The exam does not test your intelligence. Yes, it does not test your intelligence. It is, again and again, it is focused on what you do based upon what PMI has, laid out for you. So it's all about PMBOK, to be honest. And of course, you need intelligence to pass the exam. So the exam does test your knowledge of PMI processes, and in the sixth edition, there are 49 processes. So we'll remain focused on those 49 processes. Your understanding of many terms which are used to describe the processes, the terms and terminology which is given to us. Your ability to apply the processes to situations, how you can relate those processes to those situations which they have explained in the question. That's why I said it to you. Solving scenario-based questions is very, very, very important. Your ability to apply the key formulas. Key formulas, I'll give you, if you have your ITTO sheet handy with you, go to the fourth tab. You will have all the mathematical formulas laid out for you. Your understanding of professional responsibility, which we would be doing this in one of the videos in introduction section only. Your understanding of project manager's role. So the PMP exam outline, what are the responsibilities of project manager in initiation, in planning, in execution, in monitoring control, in closing. These are very, very important. So that is very important. Remember, I'm pretty sure you guys are pretty successful, after doing whatever things you have done in your real life, after wearing your job hat, would have made you successful. But in the real exam, let's keep aside our job hat and let's wear the PMI hat to make sure you are successful. So registering for the exam, how can we register for the exam and what are the things we can do? So first of all, after taking this course, you can collect your 35 contact hours. The PDUs from EduHubSpot will give you a certificate which will say that, okay, Mr. A, Miss B has, successfully attended this course from EduHubSpot. Then you have to use that course and go to the PMI website on pmi.org to make sure, you will apply the application. Just prior to giving your application, feel free to send your application to me so that I can give you the feedback and you can make changes accordingly in your application. Receive approval or audit notification. So you will either receive an approval that your application has been selected, or you will get an audit notification. If you get an audit notification, then whatever things you have written in your application, you might have to post them, like you have to mail them to the PMI. They will review it for another couple of days and they will get back to you with their result. If let's say you got approved, you just need to pay the exam fee. When you pay the exam fee, you will get an email from PMI with a PMP eligibility ID. You will use that PMP eligibility ID and go to the Prometric site, www.prometric.com, and then you just need to put in your eligibility ID, select the available dates around your area, and just go and give the exam. Once you go and give the exam, please don't forget to share your good news with us at our email address. I really like to thank each and every student, those who take our course, and I really want to learn, whatever things they learn, whatever things which help them a lot. So it's really very important for us. So sitting for the exam, first of all, find the testing center in advance. Don't get lost on the day of the exam. We don't want you to do that. So I normally recommend my students is to, go a day before, try to see the center in exam. It's not necessary. It's totally personal choice. Plan to arrive 20 to 30 minutes early. It's always better. The early you come, it's better because you are not, you are already in that kind of panic mode, and I don't want you to be in that panic mode. I want you to be relaxed. Make sure you are bringing, requested identification, specifically 2 forms of ID, like your driving license, your passport, or any other government issued identification. So how this exam is made up, that's very important. As I told you, it's 175 questions, the graded questions, and 25 ungraded, we call it as the experimental questions. You really don't know what are the graded questions and what are the experimental questions. You just need to remain focused to solve each and every question. So if you see, these are the number of questions you may expect in the exam out of this. Like for example, initiating may have around 26 questions, planning may have around 48 questions, executing may have around 60 questions, monetary control may around I would say around 50 questions, 49 questions to be precise, closing may have around 20 questions. So this is how your exam would be structured. Each and every exam on the EduHubSpot website is based upon this. You can see that what were the total number of questions and how many questions you got right and wrong. And this is exactly what we are trying to follow. So your exam experience, you will be asked to secure all the belongings. They won't even allow you to wear a jacket or a blazer or anything, a coat or anything like that. You will receive two number 2 pencils, earplugs, 6 sheet of scratch paper. So it's totally up to you if you want to use the earplugs. My recommendation is that you should do, because I don't want you to get distracted by other movements in the Prometric Center. The PMP exam will last for 4 hours. So basically, if you finish the exam well in advance, you can submit it and you can go out. It's not necessary that you have to sit for 4 hours. There would be 200 questions with 4 multiple choice answers each. So there would be 4 options and you would have to select the best option. You may take breaks during the exam by signing out with the proctor. So you can go to the proctor, sign it out, go out, like not leave the building, of course, go out, use the restroom or drink water, whatever you want to do, come back, sign in, and then give the exam again. Your timing won't stop. Remember that. So it's a standardized experience. When I say standardized experience, what do I mean by that is that the same test taker should perform at the same level on one version of the PMP exam as they should do on another version. And if you see, this is actually normally distributed. 60% of the folks pass the exam in first attempt, and 40% of the folks do not pass the exam in the first attempt. That's why I say that it's not an easy exam, it's a difficult exam. There is a lot of expectation from you to make sure you successfully do the right thing. How this exam is created? So volunteers are actually trained to write the questions. Candidate questions are vetted within a group, refined, and then they are finally approved. The PMP exam is not just from the PMBOK guide. I repeat, it's not just from the PMP guide, a PMBOK guide. There may be few concepts which are not published in the PMBOK, but still you may get some questions. Don't worry, I have covered each and every questions like these in the videos, so you are covered. Questions may be taken from any contemporary project management resources. So initially PMI used to publish these contemporary project management resources, but now they no longer publish it. So what is on the PMP exam? They have actually divided this PMP exam into 3 sections, which is the easier questions, medium difficulty questions, and the harder questions. Right? So, and they are randomly scattered. We have a different strategy for each of these type of questions. Okay, so before I go into the tips and tricks, which is your next video, it's very important to understand the layout of this course, the PMP EduHubSpot course, and also the layout of your how the exam is patterned against. Okay, thank you, and stay tuned. There's lots and lots of good and more information on these. Thank you.